welcome jewels of inestimable value. The sharpest lies are often buried in plain sight, but the keenest minds never miss a single thread. In a world where deceit often hides behind charming smiles and convincing words, few can see through the web of lies like the Sigma female. She's not your typical woman. Her intellect, independence, and unshakable intuition set her apart. While others may be fooled by surface-level truths, she knows how to dissect even the subtlest falsehoods piece by piece. Did you know that studies have shown people lie up to 200 times a day, often without realizing it? But what happens when you lie to someone who's trained herself to catch every inconsistency? When a Sigma female senses a lie, the game changes entirely. She doesn't react like others. No accusations, no drama. Instead, she orchestrates a strategic response that is both thrilling and unnerving to witness. This is a story of silent power, calculated moves, and a chilling aftermath that leaves liars questioning their every word. Let's dive deep into what happens when you dare lie to a Sigma female. Prepare for a psychological dance like no other. Number 1. The art of pretending, playing the oblivious card. When a Sigma female realizes she's being lied to, her first move isn't to call it out or confront the person. Instead, she pretends not to notice. But don't mistake her calm demeanor for ignorance. This is a carefully crafted strategy. She doesn't react because she knows that reacting too soon could give the liar control of the situation. By playing along, she keeps all the power in her hands. Every nod, every smile, every casual "oh, is that right?" is part of her act, allowing the liar to feel safe while she gathers information. As the lie unfolds, she becomes the perfect listener, leaning into the story, giving them the illusion they've fooled her. This lulls the liar into a false sense of security. The more they talk, the more comfortable they get, and that's exactly what she wants. She's not just hearing the lie, she's studying every word, every detail, cataloging inconsistencies and weaknesses in their story. The liar thinks they're in control, but she's the one pulling the strings. By pretending to be oblivious, she buys herself time. Time to assess the situation, time to plan her next move. She knows that acting too quickly could tip them off, and a Sigma female never tips her hand. Instead, she lets the liar believe they've won, all the while crafting a strategy that will eventually expose the truth with precision. This calm, almost passive response is not a sign of weakness. It's the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are already 3 steps ahead. In a world where most people react with immediate emotion or anger when lied to, the Sigma female's decision to play the long game is both disarming and powerful. It's her way of saying, without ever needing to say it, "I see everything, and I'll handle this on my terms." Number 2. Strategic questioning, planting seeds of doubt. Once the Sigma female has decided to play along with the lie, she moves to the next phase, strategic questioning. This isn't about firing off a series of direct challenges or accusations. That's not her style. Instead, she subtly starts to unravel the lie with questions that seem casual but are calculated to test the liar's story. These questions are designed to seem harmless, almost conversational, but each one is placed with precision, like pieces on a chessboard. She might ask something as simple as, "Oh, when did that happen again?" Or, "Did you say it was on a Friday or Saturday?" These questions force the liar to retrace their steps, and it's in those details where cracks begin to form. Her questions are never random. They always target a specific part of the story that she knows could be weak, and because she asks with such genuine curiosity, the liar has no idea they're being led into a trap. The beauty of this approach is how calm and non-threatening it is. The liar is left thinking they're still in control of the narrative, that they've managed to cover their tracks. But with each answer, they're actually giving her more information to work with, contradictions, hesitation, or over-explaining. The Sigma female listens carefully, noting every slip and every small inconsistency. She also knows how to let silence work in her favor. After asking a particularly telling question, she doesn't rush to fill the gap with more talk. She lets the quiet hang in the air, putting subtle pressure on the liar to keep talking, to keep digging themselves deeper. It's psychological warfare at its finest, but it's all done with an almost eerie calm. What makes this method so effective is that the liar doesn't realize they're being questioned at all. It feels like a natural conversation. But the Sigma female is always 5 steps ahead, using their own words against them without ever raising suspicion. By the time the liar begins to sense that something's off, it's already too late. They've given her everything she needs to confirm the truth. Number 3, the silent observer, gathering intel from the shadows. When the Sigma female moves into the role of the silent observer, things get really interesting. This is where she lets the liar do all the heavy lifting without even realizing it. While most people might feel the need to confront or at least react, the Sigma female takes a step back and watches everything unfold with almost scientific detachment. She's like a detective in plain sight, quietly gathering every piece of evidence while keeping a straight face. Her secret weapon at this stage is her silence. People underestimate how much power there is in simply shutting up and letting the other person talk. And the liar? They don't even know they're being studied. They think they're spinning their web of lies, but what they're really doing is giving her more and more rope to hang themselves with. The Sigma female doesn't interrupt, doesn't argue, and doesn't show any signs that she's caught on. She just listens intensely with laser focus. And while she's observing, she's not just paying attention to the words. No, she's reading everything. The slight twitch in their smile, the awkward shuffle of their feet, the way they avoid eye contact at critical moments. It's like she has her own internal lie detector running at all times. The liar thinks they're being clever, but she's picking apart every little slip-up, every nervous gesture. It's almost unfair how good she is at this. The best part? She's often doing all this with the most innocent look on her face. Maybe she even throws in a nod or a polite smile to keep them comfortable. It's like watching someone trying to win a poker game while she holds all the aces. She doesn't need to say a word because she knows she's already winning. What makes this phase so brilliant is how effortlessly she lets the liar build their own downfall. The more they talk, the more they reveal without even realizing it. And by the time they're done spinning their story, she's already got the whole thing figured out, complete with plot holes, contradictions, and all. It's almost like watching a masterclass in patience and psychology. The liar thinks they're putting on a show, but in reality, they're being watched like a bug under a microscope. And the Sigma female? She's taking notes the whole time, ready to use everything she's learned when the moment is right. It's genius. Number 4, the weapon of silence. Psychological warfare at its finest. When the Sigma female decides to use silence as a weapon, it's a psychological masterstroke. She knows that silence isn't just the absence of words, it's an unspoken challenge, a subtle pressure that can make even the most confident liar start to unravel. In a world where people are used to filling every moment with chatter, her silence is like a mirror, forcing the liar to confront their own deception. She doesn't need to raise her voice or make dramatic gestures. Instead, she simply chooses not to respond. No immediate reaction, no accusations, just the calm, heavy weight of silence. And that silence, it's deafening. It makes the liar second-guess themselves, wonder if they've said too much or if she's caught on. The longer it stretches, the more uncomfortable the liar becomes, squirming under the invisible weight of her stillness. In these moments, the Sigma female knows exactly what she's doing. Silence creates a void, and most people can't handle it. They feel the need to fill it with explanations, justifications, or worse, more lies. And that's where they make their biggest mistake. The more they talk, the deeper they sink into their own falsehoods, trying to cover one lie with another. Meanwhile, she sits back, calm and composed, watching them dig their own grave. But it's not just the silence itself that's powerful, it's what it communicates. It says, "I know what you're doing, and I'm not going to play into it." It forces the liar to face the possibility that they're caught without her ever having to say a word. It creates a tension that builds with every passing second, making the liar more and more desperate to break it, to hear something, anything from her that might give them a clue as to what she's thinking. The Sigma female is fully aware of how unnerving this is. She's using silence to control the entire dynamic, turning the tables on the liar without lifting a finger. And by the time they realize what's happening, they're already off balance, rambling or tripping over their own words, trying to figure out what she knows. It's a subtle but devastating tactic, one that leaves the liar feeling exposed and vulnerable, long before she even says a word. Number 5. Setting psychological traps, a game of mind chess. When the Sigma female starts setting psychological traps, it's not about catching the liar in a dramatic moment. It's about patiently guiding them into a position where their lies inevitably collapse. She's not impulsive. She's strategic, always thinking several moves ahead. Every action she takes at this stage is deliberate, and each trap is carefully designed to expose the truth without the liar even realizing they're walking right into it. She knows the lie has weak spots, and her goal is to exploit them slowly, subtly. For example, she might pretend to forget an important detail the liar mentioned earlier, casually bringing it up in a way that forces them to repeat themselves. But she's not looking for the same answer. She's waiting for them to slip, to contradict themselves, or to scramble for a quick fix. And when they do, she's already got them. Sometimes she'll go even further, creating situations that encourage the liar to dig deeper into their own deception. She might ask a seemingly innocent question, or make a statement that appears to align with the lie, drawing them in deeper. The liar, feeling more confident, starts to elaborate, unaware that every word is leading them into a more tangled web. She's not rushing them. She's giving them space to bury themselves bit by bit. The beauty of this approach lies in its subtlety. She doesn't need to confront or accuse because the liar is doing all the work for her. The more they speak, the more she learns, and each new layer of the lie makes their eventual fall that much harder. It's a game of patience and precision, and the Sigma female plays it flawlessly. By the time the liar realizes they've been trapped, it's too late. They've contradicted themselves, exposed inconsistencies, or given away key details without even noticing. And all along, the Sigma female has been guiding them toward that moment, laying out each piece of the puzzle with quiet, deliberate care. In this way, her psychological traps are not about confrontation, but revelation. She lets the liar reveal themselves, and when the truth finally comes out, it's not because she forced it. It's because they couldn't help but walk straight into it. Number 6. Calculated confrontation, the unmasking moment. When the Sigma female decides it's time for confrontation, she doesn't go in with fury or accusations. Instead, her approach is calm, calculated, and focused. She's already done all the groundwork, observing, questioning, and setting traps. So when she finally decides to confront the liar, it's not a spur-of-the-moment reaction. It's a carefully planned move, one she's been preparing for while the liar remained oblivious. Her confrontation isn't messy or emotional. She's not there to argue or create drama. Instead, she presents the facts with quiet precision. She doesn't accuse the liar directly, but starts by highlighting small inconsistencies they've overlooked, one by one, like pieces of a puzzle that no longer fit. The liar, thinking they're still in control, might try to talk their way out of it, but that's exactly where she wants them. The Sigma female lets them attempt to explain themselves, knowing full well that every word they say is another opportunity for them to trip over their own lies. She doesn't rush to fill the silence or push for answers. She simply waits, letting the weight of her revelations settle in. By the time the liar realizes they're trapped, it's too late. They've already tangled themselves in a mess they can't escape from. Her power lies in how calm and deliberate she is. The confrontation isn't about making a scene or putting the liar on the defensive. It's about letting the truth speak for itself. She lays out the evidence like a lawyer presenting a case, leaving no room for doubt or denial. There's no need for raised voices or heated exchanges. The facts are enough to do all the talking. And it's not just the content of her confrontation that hits hard, but the way she delivers it. There's a certain coldness in how she presents everything. She's not angry or upset. She's simply done. The liar, now fully aware they've been caught, is left scrambling, trying to salvage the situation, but it's already over. The Sigma female has already made up her mind, and no amount of excuses can change that. By the end, the confrontation feels less like an argument and more like a quiet reckoning. The liar is left exposed, their falsehoods laid bare, while she remains composed, having already anticipated every reaction. There's no need for further discussion. The truth is out, and she's already moving on. Number 7. The ghosting effect, disappearing without a trace. Once the Sigma female has confronted the liar and laid everything out, she doesn't linger. There's no back and forth, no dramatic closure, and no explanation. What follows is her signature move. She simply disappears. She ghosts them, leaving the liar to sit with the weight of their own actions. It's the ultimate power play. She doesn't argue, doesn't plead for truth, and certainly doesn't demand an apology. She's already taken what she needed, uncovered the lie, and now she's gone. This ghosting isn't about avoidance or running away. It's a deliberate choice. By cutting ties so cleanly, she leaves no room for manipulation, excuses, or more lies. The silence that follows is absolute, and it speaks volumes. The liar, used to people demanding explanations or second chances, is left in a void. They don't know how to handle it. They expect anger, confrontation, or at least a final word. But with the Sigma female, they get nothing. In that silence, the liar is left with their own thoughts, replaying everything, trying to figure out where they went wrong, or worse, wondering how much she knew from the start. It's a haunting feeling, being shut out without a single warning or farewell. And that's the brilliance of the Sigma female's approach. She doesn't just leave the liar, she leaves them with questions they'll never get answers to. The absence is louder than any confrontation could ever be. And for the Sigma female, there's a quiet satisfaction in walking away without a backward glance. She doesn't need closure from them because she's already gotten her closure by uncovering the truth. There's no need for further interaction. To her, the moment the lie is exposed, the relationship is over. It's as simple as that. The aftermath is cold, clean, and final. She doesn't explain herself or justify her exit. She knows that the power lies in leaving things unfinished. The liar will keep wondering, keep doubting themselves, replaying every word, while she's already moved on, unbothered and unreachable. That's the ghosting effect. She vanishes, but her absence lingers long after she's gone. In the end, the Sigma female's response to being lied to is a masterclass in subtlety, strategy, and control. She never reacts impulsively, never gives the liar the satisfaction of a predictable response. Instead, she navigates each situation with a sharp mind and a cool demeanor, turning deception into a game that she's already won before the liar even realizes it. From pretending to be oblivious to ghosting without a word, she handles lies with precision and grace, leaving those who deceive her tangled in their own web. But what makes her approach truly remarkable isn't just how she exposes the truth. It's how she walks away unscathed, untouched by the emotional mess others would drown in. The liar, left in the wake of her quiet power, is left questioning themselves, wondering how much she knew and when she figured it out. The Sigma female never needs to raise her voice, fight, or seek revenge. Her strength lies in her ability to handle deception with an air of finality that speaks louder than any confrontation ever could. In the world of lies, the Sigma female remains untouchable, leaving behind a trail of mystery and shattered illusions. If you found this deep dive into how Sigma females handle deception as intriguing as we did, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more insightful content that unpacks the strategies and behaviors of extraordinary individuals. Join our community to keep up with the latest and most compelling insights right here. Thanks for watching, Jules. See you in the next video. Bye for now, and stay blessed.